Terrible show tonight. From Godfather Social Slimming. Name of my topic tonight is called my topic is called tonight. Chaos, crap, and confusion in Cincinnati, Ohio. That's my topic tonight. Chaos, crap, and confusion in Cincinnati, Ohio is my topic tonight. That's my topic. Yeah, but before I do, I'm gonna show a little bit of music. I'm gonna open the show with a song called "Beautiful" by Damian Marley. So stick around. I'll be right back. Dame Marley is the son of late Bob Marley. These man. Beautiful, all we just heard. Yeah, by the late by Beautiful by featuring Bobby Beautiful by Bobby Marley, Damian Marley, the son of the late Bob Marley, featuring Bobby Brown. All we just heard. So let's get down to business for tonight's show. Okay, here we go. The commentary. Let's get started. Commentary welcomes us to the show. Before we head to the ring, where Tony Schiavone introduced to Tommaso Ciampa, Psycho Killer, makes his way out. As we take a look at Ciampa forcing Schiavone to state that he is better than Chris Jericho back at Collision. Tony starts to talk about what happened 2 weeks ago. But Tommaso cuts him out, telling everyone that once again that Tommaso Ciampa is better than Chris Jericho. Schiavone starts to refuse, but is threatened by Ciampa that will break his back if he doesn't. Tony starts to repeat what he stated on Saturday, but Jericho makes his way out. Casual makes the save. Ciampa is having none of this, yelling to cut Chris Jericho's music as the crowd sings along with his theme. Tommaso asks if everyone's happy to get see the song. Tommaso asks if everyone is happy to get to the song and dance done, stating that Jericho is finally here in the flesh. What do you have to say for yourself? First, Jericho has to say that he wants to know who he wants to talk to about fighting someone that actually has hair. The crowd's ball chants called by Ciampa before Jericho apologized and offers to start again. Introduces himself, but Tommaso says he knows what he is before referring to himself as the man who laid out Chris Jericho a couple of weeks ago. Jericho says hello to Tommy, which doesn't go over as well as Ciampa says nobody calls him Tommy, not even his own mother. Jericho replies to this by talking about Tommy's mommy for running him down with a series of insults while running down the reasons Ciampa hates him so much. Ciampa talks about Jericho joking around too much, but Ciampa insists he doesn't think it's that funny. It's all that funny. He talks about what Ciampa did to him, and how he needs to get the stick out of your ass. Get the stick out of your asshole, Tommy. Gets riles Ciampa up before the two come to blows, before security comes down to break it up. They bring Jericho away from the ring, but they get past them, charging at Ciampa to get some more shots in. Officials finally manage to defuse the situation as commentary turns their attention to what's coming up later tonight, including the recent development that Miles World is filling for an injured Sari to take on Sky Blue later tonight. We head backstage where Renee talks to Kevin Knight and Don Callis about what happened last week. Callis hypes up the Jet, calling out MJ Warren Jack Extreme after resolving his issues with Speedball. Andrade El Diablo cuts in, telling the newest member of Don Callis to get back in the line as he is ready for his shot at the world title. Knight runs down Andrade, telling him the real champion is here before walking off. Don shows El Diablo will get his title shot before heading out, and Dynamite rolls on. Back at ringside, Don Moxley makes his entrance from the outside the venue for opening match as he gets ready to defend his Continental Championship. Shane Dick Taylor makes his way out alongside the rest of the STP. The ref reminding them to leave ringside per rules before getting this match between two of the highest finalists underway. Here, the AEW Continental Championship match, Jon Moxley defends against Shane Taylor. Shane goes to work on the champ, bringing him to the ropes before the ref calls for a break. Taylor takes Mox to the corner now, yielding a familiar result before John lands some body shots to send a challenger back. Mox heads to the ropes, luring Taylor to a trap by sending him to the outside, then knocking him off the apron before the drop kick before sending him to the floor with a dive. Taylor gets back into it, landing some shots on the champ as the two take their fight to the timekeeper area where Shane drops Mox through the tables. We go to an ad break. Ad break on HBO Max. Back from the break, we see Taylor landing a leg drop on the apron before using the cover to try and choke Mox out. He eventually brings John back into the ring and heads to the corner, waiting for Jon Moxley to get to his feet. A corner lariat, the champ slowly gets to his feet and catches Shane with a slap to the face, sending a challenger to the corner. Taylor and Mox trade strikes until the champ runs for a running boot, only to be blocked by the Shane. He falls over a lariat, forcing the challenger to the canvas. He brings Taylor to the corner for some mounting punches before digging his fingers back into the back, but Taylor fights him off with a headbutt, sending him back to the mat. Taylor sees an opportunity and lands a big splash. Only gets a 2 as he gets an announcement that 10 minutes remain. Taylor stays on top of this by clinching and chinlock on the champ, but Mox fights to his feet before breaking away. This leads to both men trading strikes until Mox drops a knee. He gets back up, landing a few more shots to take control for a 2 count, transitioning into a cross arm breaker. Taylor breaks free of the hold, is clenching and fires off some hard fists on the head of the champ before the ref intervenes to allow Mox to regain control, taking Shane to the mat before a stomp before clinching in a bulldog chokehold for the win. Winner via submission and the new AEW Continental Champion Jon Moxley. Mox is handed his title and starts to celebrate, but Taylor is not taking this loss very well as he blindsides the champ post-match. He is handed to a belt to the whip Mox whip before Dan Garcia comes out for the save and gets jumped by the infantry as Marina tries to offer assistance, only to be laid out by Trish Adora. STP retreat and regroup on stage, enjoying the damage they've done. You cut to a vision with Mercedes Moné claiming the women's division lost its power while she is gone. She's back not for redemption but to defend what is hers. Hazuki is next, as CEO always collects. Back at ringside, Don Callis and Kevin Knight come out to boos from the crowd. Callis introduces the newest member of the family in the Jet. Thanks him for making Knight feel so welcome in the weird city like Cincinnati. He runs down Speedball before talking about being the face of TNT. Crowd chants, "Fuck Don Callis." Hold on, so 1 second. If crowd chants "fuck Don Callis," Knight gets a laugh, and at this before talking about Callis considering him the #1 asset, recruiting him with a big signing bonus. He then calls out Moore and Jack Extreme to get out here and looks to become Jet 2 belts, but out comes Darby Allin instead, who blindsides Knight with a skateboard to the back. He takes the microphone saying he hopes New York was worth it before he looking to do some more damage, only to retreat as the rest of the family comes running out. Commentary talks about what just happened for looking ahead to our other matches tonight, including Pac taking on Mark Briscoe up next. Commercial break. Come back from break to find Mark Briscoe talking to Tony Khan backstage with AEW president, saying it's a good plan before calling Mark Briscoe's music to play. With that, we head to ringside where Briscoe makes his entrance to a big pop from the crowd. Out next is Pac making his way through the crowd before heading to the ring to get this match underway. Pac versus Mark Briscoe. The true trade offense back and forth with Briscoe taking control before Pac turns things around. Pac gets sent into the canvas but bounces back up, sending Mark to the ropes to no avail. They shove each other before Briscoe is sent to the corner where he fires back with some chops for sending Pac to the outside for a low dropkick and leaves the ring for an elbow slam on Pac before going back on the apron for Cactus Jack elbow. Briscoe continues the attack, bringing Pac to a nearby chair, but Pac dodges a charge from Mark at last second, forcing the former Ring of Honor World Champion to collide with it as we go to an ad break.
This guy, cold foods from my...
Sorry about that noise, everybody. Briscoe continues the attack, bringing Pac to a nearby chair, but Pac dodges a charge from Mark at the last second, forcing the former Ring of Honor World Champion to collide as we go to an ad break. Ad break. Both men are back in the ring now, trading strikes before the Pac sends Briscoe to the ropes for a shoulder tackle. Mark is back up, catching Pac into the corner before an exploder before propping up on a turnbuckle. He pulls Pac down with a crossarm iconoclasm for cover, but only gets a near fall. Both men are back in the ring now, trading strikes for Pac. Briscoe Sends Briscoe to the ropes, shoulder tackle. Mark is back up, catching Peck in the corner. When exploded before propping up on the turnbuckle. He pulls Peck down with a cross arm. I know class him for the cover, but only gets a near fall. He only follows up with a brainbuster before going up to top, but Peck pays an impossible edgy froggy bowl by escaping the apron. Mark follows him up, but he gets hung up on top by Pac. Follows over a big pump kick. They trade strikes again before Briscoe lands on a big boot. He hits the ropes with his caught with a loose German suplex by Pac. Briscoe responds by breaking free suplex attempt, bringing the Pac to the ropes for landing a suplex of his own. It sends both men over the top rope, crashing to the floor. Yeah, Mark Briscoe follows him, but gets hung up by a top rope by Pac, who follows over the pump kick. They trade strikes again before Briscoe lands on a big spook. He lands, he hits the ropes, but is caught with a release German suplex by Pac. Briscoe responds by breaking free of a suplex attempt, bringing both Pac to the ropes for landing a suplex of his own. It sends both men to the rope, over the top rope, crashing onto the floor. Mark Briscoe gets hung up to the rope by a Pac who follows over the big pump. They trade strikes again before Briscoe lands on a big boot. Wait, I said this already. Confused. Briscoe is the first to back to his feet, getting a drop on Pac before bringing him back into the ring for a froggy bow, landing on the knees of Pac instead. Pac goes up, but Briscoe dodges him, only be sent crashing into the corner by a belly with a belly suits by Pac. He goes up to the top, launches himself back for a back elbow on the knees. Briscoe lands on Jerry Driller to pick up the win. Winner via pinfall, Mark Briscoe. Mark gets the microphone after the match, calling on Warren Jack Extreme since the champ decided to keep ducking him. Mark Briscoe says he has a direct path to the title shot, telling Warren Jack Extreme to get out of here. Warren Jack Extreme hits. We go to commercial break. Back at ringside, we hear from Warren Jackson Freeman comes toward the ring, resisting to where around the champ's time. He says the one is above is more important than the champ here. And a final word on Briscoe getting a title shot is a no. They say rising. They say rising the tide raises all ships, whether the people like it or not. Warren Jack Freeman is the rising tide of this company. These people should be thanking Warren Jack Freeman for protecting the title from guys like Mark Briscoe. Mark brags about being with the conglomeration, but friends mean nothing, claiming that money talks. We get a twisted Jay of lethal variety as we find out what this means with Jay Lethal and his proteges Blake Christian and Lee Johnson blindsiding Briscoe. Bright starts to fight back with Jay Driller before Jay Lethal twists to get more for Jay Lethal twist to get back into it. MJF says that your boy Briscoe sucks before the congregation run down for the save. Briscoe gets some mic Briscoe gets a mic of his own, pointing out that Warren Jack Freeman is not the boss of AEW. He's just an asshole. He's just an asshole. Yeah, he needs to find out some friends or he can pay off. He's going to need to find some friends or someone he can pay off because Briscoe came to terms with Tony Khan on the main event for Forbidden Door. Briscoe and 5 of his buddies will face Warren Jack Freeman and 5 of his 6-on-6. If Briscoe's team wins, he earns the guaranteed title shot. And like the sicko that he is, Khan says that match will take place inside of a steel cage. Warren Jack Freeman is beside himself, yelling that it ain't gonna happen. As Andrade El Diablo makes his entrance for our next match. Don Callis can be heard sneaking his way into commentary as Andrade stares at Warren Jack Freeman down as a stage before heading out to the ring, with the congregation as hanging out as we get this match underway. Orange Cassidy versus Andrade El Diablo. Cassidy breaks free the hold from El Diablo, creeps Cassidy from putting his hands on his pocket. Orange responds by zipping up the pockets of Andrade's tights, but El Diablo having none of it as he immediately heads to the corner to take those off by the crowd to enjoy the trunks of underneath. He goes on to dare Orange to put his hands in his pockets this time, but Cassidy surprises him in the crowd and tearing away at his jeans to reveal a pair of jeans underneath. This seems to infuriate Andrade as Cassidy starts to put his hands in his pocket, only to be driven to the corner that he sits to fight back, only gets out of the ring as we go to an ad break. Goes on there. Orange Cassidy put his hands in his pocket this time, but Cassidy surprises him, and only the crowd tearing away his jeans to reveal pair of jeans underneath. This seems to fear Andre as we I think I said this. Yeah. Cassidy fights back from the apron, sending Andre to the turnbuckle to gain some breathing room. Leaps off the turnbuckle for some more damage, but Andre quickly fights back to some vertical suplexes. A third amigo is countered from stunned up Miller by Cassidy uses the ropes to get back to his feet. Andre is on his feet outside as Orange goes for a dive, only to be caught for a first suplex by El Diablo. Andrade takes a moment for a selfie fan, but this gives Cassidy the opening to get back to his ring for a dive onto El Diablo. Cassidy turns his attention to the fan at ringside, who was creeped out by Leo Rush as he takes out the phone for a selfie of his own. This allows Andrade to take Cassidy out before Leo calls him over, saying he knows. Andrade asks him how he knows, and this goes back and forth with an occasional sign from the back cart before Cassidy goes after Andrade. This brings the fight back into the ring for where Andrade takes control, sending Cassidy in the corner for Roman Mayor in the 2 count. He brings Cassidy back into the corner, but Andrade Orange counters for a near fall of his own, landing a right hand that knocks him down, but so is Orange Cassidy. The ref begins a count as both men slowly get to their feet, trading strikes, with an Orange initially landing a weak shot for personal to surprise El Diablo with a thrust kick. The action spills to the ropes where Cassidy takes him over to the elevator ramp before planting Andrade with an LDT. He brings LL back into the ring for another DDT in the cover, but Andrade kicks out at 2. Cassidy is back on his feet, taking off his elbow for elbow pad for an orange punch, but Andrade charges at him with an El Dia de los Muertos as he follows up with a DM for cover for the win. Winner via pinfall, Andrade El Diablo. Andrade is presented with an IWGPW Global Championship with a microphone after the match. He has one question for the crowd: how you know? As he and Cal celebrate as we cut to a video ad break from last week. Ospreay addresses his advance in the Owen Hart finals after beating the Davis. He admits owning up to something for Death Riders for success, but he's interrupted by Alex Winter. He rushes in to embrace her husband. Ospreay assures her that everything is fine, shoving the camera to turn us away from the moment for commentary hype up our matches to come. We cut to a vision on Thickless issues with the Stardom promotion over the past year. So heading over to Forbidden Door, she promises to close the door for good, declares death to Stardom. In commercial break, backstage, Mark tells Shane Taylor we could have just walked away after their match tonight. He steps away, struggling as Shafir tells Trish Adora all the weapons she brings won't be enough. Garcia likes the sound of all that before issuing challenge to STP to send for a 5-on-4 fight at conclusion of the same match as Shane's group is following him to straight to hell. Sky Blue makes her entrance for our next match as we hear from the Triangle of Madness to insist it says promo. It's a promo. Maya World makes her way out as we hear from Young Bird about her Young Bird passing earlier today. A tragedy she looks to fight through as she enters the ring to get this match underway. Women's Own Heart Foundation Tournament qualifying for Sky Blue versus Maya World. Sky Blue takes the advantage early on, shoving Maya away with a boot for landing some hard strikes for a near fall. Maya starts to fight back, and before being sent to the ropes by Sky, knocking Blue back from the corner, forcing her to take a breather on the ramp. Sky intercepts the World on the ropes, landing a DDT to send Maya crashing into the ramp for going to an ad break. Yeah, break. Back in the ring, Blue lands a hard kick on the World for a near fall. She sends Maya to the ropes for a near fall for Maya on the counter with Blue send Blue to the mat for a double stump. She blocks Maya with suplex for landing a rising knee to strike. Clicks for 2 count. She climbs the turnbuckle, but essentially Sky Blue lands a thrust kick and then a high angle Liger Bomb for a near fall of her own. Maya manages to block a rising knee, another bridging suplex, keeping Sky down for 2. Rising knee for strike from Maya this time, only gets a near fall as Blue kicks out. Both women are back on their feet now, trading strikes from the middle of the ring. Rolling elbow Maya on the thrust kick by Sky. It all comes to a head with an Enziguri and a release German suplex by Maya on for Sky to land on her feet to land a running knee strike. Both men and women are down as the ref checks on them to bring Maya back to her feet as she hits the ropes, but Maya dodges for a roll up for 2. Sky gets back with a pair of thrust kicks, forcing World up for a TKO in the cover, by Maya kicks out. Maya dodges a cold Blue with a roll and rolls up Sky with a jackknife cover for a surprise 3 count pickup win for her win in advance. Winner via pinfall, advancing to the semifinal. Maya World. I would say this is somehow similar to the King Queen Ring tournament in WWE. WWE's King and Queen Ring tournament. This Owen Hart tournament, summer blockbuster. Big pop for Maya, who celebrates out of the ring as we see an angry Sky Blue getting over what just happened. give peek at Luger, Swerve Strickland as Brody King as we get ready for the match. Coming up next is our main event. Commercial break. Backstage, Moore Extreme talks to Don Callis about getting 5 of his top guys for a steel cage match at the Forbidden Door. Don Callis starts to claim his man are in pieces of meat, but he reconsiders when Moore Extreme offers him a briefcase full of money. Kevin Knight is the first to offer his services at Forbidden Door on the condition that gets a title shot at Moore Extreme in the world title after pay-per-view. Warren Jack Extreme agrees but tells him that there will be no rematch if he loses this one. With that, we head back to ringside for our main event. Our first is Swerve Strickland hear from Renee about what this tournament means for Swerve to bring into tonight. Next is Brody King, who will get this particular chance to get as this match gets underway. Men's Owen Hart Foundation Tournament semifinal: Swerve Strickland versus Brody King. He processed Strickland and charges at him, but now slows him down long enough for Swerve to recover. He gains control after of the match as he sets up King on a chair for Swerve stomp. Brody is sent crashing to the floor. With Swerve looking over the damage he has done as we go to commercial break. Ad break. Back in the ring, King is ring controls. He Swerve Strickland up on the turnbuckle. Donna provides an assist as this Swerve to break free, looking for a power bomb. But King holds onto the ropes, so Strickland kicks him in the midsection instead. This ends with Swerve taking the big man to the mat. He heads to the corner for a house call that Brody manages narrowly to evade. And the fight spills to the outside once more, where the King sends Strickland crashing to the barricade. We see Moore Extreme watching on from backstage as King brings Swerve back into the ring and only gets a 2 count. Swerve fights to his feet for a front strike, but his loopy fights fights back and getting a train strikes with Strickland being sent to the ropes for a chop by Brody. Strickland gets back into a now landing of a few more shots before they're looking for a house call. King lays him out with Larry instead. Swerve slowly gets to his feet, but Brody stops him with a sleeper hold. Strickland backpedals, sending King into exposed turnbuckle to break free. And the impact on Brody's head has busted him open. Swerve goes for a house call, seemingly unfazed until Strickland falls over the house call from the top rope. He goes for a cover. Brody kicks out. Swerve looks very breaker, but King breaks out of it before landing on Death Valley Driver, sending Strickland into the corner. It looks for a cannonball. Looks for a cannonball before Nana hops on the apron to stop him, only to get a drop back to the floor by with a sleeper hold. Roller charges Swerve with a cannonball in the corner, but only gets a 2 count. He goes for a Ganza bomb, but a shove toward the ref. Allowing Swerve to sneak a shot before hoisting King up for a vertebrae to pick up the win in advance. Winning by via pinfall, advancing to the final. Swerve Strickland. We get an updated bracket reminding us that Swerve now faces Will Ospreay after winning Dora in the finals. We get a replay of the finish for Swerve. Swerve and now celebrate from the stage as Dynamite comes to a close. Terrible show tonight. Terrible show tonight. Terrible show tonight. Okay, time for some wrestling history for yesterday. Some culture. Yesterday was a happy birthday to Chip Minton, WCW and USWA. He turned 57. Gene Rougeau Banner is running. Johnny Rougeau, Canadian wrestler. He would have been 97 yesterday. Val Puccio would have been 61 yesterday. He died on January 7th, 2011 of heart failure. ECW. And yesterday was a happy celebrity birthday. Yesterday was a happy 65th birthday to my favorite actor Michael J. Fox, Back to the Future TV's Family Ties. My favorite actress Mae Winton turns 38 yesterday. And they show yeah, on Primetime Wrestling hosted by Gorilla Monsoon, Bobby Brain Heenan. They show highlights of matches including George Yam Steel facing off against Adorable Adrian Adonis, Cannonball Parisi facing against Steve Lombardi. An interview with Mr. Morocco and Mr. Fuji. The Rougeau brothers face off against Hercules Hernandez and Terry Gibbs. Billy Jack Haynes interview. Moondogs versus Tony Paxton's Nelson Velo. Andre Giant versus Ivan Koloff, Cedric Delivery Jones, Paul Roman versus the Menace and Jim Haley versus King Kong Bunny versus Tony Atlas. All that was shown on that day. It was June 9th, 1986. Let's see what else. June 9th, 1996, Chicago Bulls beat the Supersonics 108-86 in Game 3 of the 1996 NBA Finals. And we see a little Jake the Snake Roberts interview on the Action Zone. Taskmaster defeated Mikey Yankee. El Gao defeated Kurosawa on WCW main event June 9, 1996. Then on WWE Heat, Trevor Murray defeated Colt Cabana. Viscera defeated Rob Conway. The Spirit Squad, Johnny and Nikki defeated Goldust and Gene Snitsky. Then on Friday Night SmackDown, just hours before leading up the ECW One Night Stand, Super Crazy included Bobby Lashley getting his revenge on Regal for making him kiss his feet and humiliating him. Super Crazy with Psychosis defeated Brian Kendrick, Paul London, and Bobby Lashley defeated ruling by countout. This means that Teddy Long announces that Booker T will face King Booker. Vito defeated Nunzio. Bobby Lashley defeated William Regal by countout. Mark Henry defeated Ray Monroe. Mr. Kennedy defeated Sky High. Finley defeated Rey Mysterio. And then we see little contest, beauty contest. Actually, Sarah won the contest, little fashion contest. Then Great Khali did some damage to the Super Crazy after he defeated Brian Kendrick. And Mark Henry said comes out here and he says he's waiting for Batista to come back so he can destroy him again. Then we see Taz telling Michael Cole that he quit SmackDown to leave for ECW. He's coming home. Then we see Paul Heyman coming out here. He tells coming out here telling Rey Mysterio to come to ECW. But Mysterio refuses to say he stays right here on SmackDown because he knows ECW. He was part of ECW. He doesn't want to join, so he's staying right here on SmackDown. He tells Paul Heyman. And Finlay, and he says and Paul Heyman comes out here. He says he wants to see Mysterio get destroyed. So he's waiting for he's enjoying. He wants to see him get destroyed by Finlay tonight. Let's see what else. See, what else? Little movie releases on this day, on that day, June 9th. Yeah, a couple movie released. Movie called Cars was released in theaters. Cars, the animated movie, the movie started all Disney movie. Cars, the movie that started it all, was released in theaters. Your Owen Wilson, Bonnie Hunt, voices John Goodman. Everybody was in this movie. Michael Keaton, Cheech Marin, Tony Shalhoub, Larry the Cable Guy. Everybody was in this movie. It's from the director of Toy Story. And Prairie Companion, starring Woody Harrelson, Tommy Lee Jones, Garrison Keillor, Kevin Kline, Lindsay Lohan, Virginia Madsen, Maya Rudolph, John C. Reilly, Meryl Streep, Lily Tomlin. It was released in theaters. A musical comedy right there. It's released in theaters. Let's see. They're not Smack. Let's see what else. See what else on 2016 Friday Night SmackDown 2000 Thursday Night SmackDown 2016. I forgot one thing. Forgot to mention on Monday. There was a little piece of wrestling. Breaking Down Reloaded that aired after Breaking Down Reloaded that aired after NXT. The end that same day. Aired on June 8th, 2016. Same day as NXT Takeover the End aired on WWE Network. The realest guys, Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson in a no contest. Alberto Del Rio and Kevin Owens defeated Cesaro and Sami Zayn. Becky Lynch with the entire defeated Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke was shot by submission. Baron Corbin defeated Kalisto Cole. Chris Jericho defeated Dean Ambrose. Then we see a segment with Big Enzo Amore and Big Cass spin the face of the club dominance. Deonna Purrazzo, she turned 32 yesterday. Deonna Purrazzo. Tatsuki Nakamura turned 46 yesterday. Japanese wrestler. Let's see. Trying to see what else here. Here. Let's see. Okay, Monday Night Wars. Let's see. WCW Prime. Let's see. Kevin The Public Enemy defeated Arn Anderson and Kevin Sullivan by DQ. On WCW Prime, and on the Monday Night Wars between WWE Raw and on US Network and WWE and WCW Nitro. Yeah, Fayette, North Carolina, Cumberland County Memorial Auditorium. Owen Hart with Jim Cornette defeated Yokozuna in the King of the Ring qualifying match. Art Merrill was Sable defeated Skip in King of the Bydons in the King of the Ring qualifying match. And British Bulldog David Boy Smith with Jim Cornette, Owen Hart, and Diana Hart Smith defeated The Undertaker and Paul Bearer via countout. Included footage from a house show in Chicago the previous night, featuring an in-ring interview with the Ultimate Warrior conducted by Jerry King Lawler, which Lawler attempted to apologize for costing Warrior the match against Goldust several weeks back and offering a drawing as Warrior as a present. As the Warrior rejected the president an apology, Lawler smashed the framed picture of Warrior's head before fleeing backstage. That was despicable. Featured Jim Cornette announcing that Clarence Mason lawsuit against Real Wilson has been dropped in exchange for Kent Cornette to be able to choose the referee for the Shawn Michaels versus David Boy Smith versus Shawn Michaels versus Bulldog rematch at the King of the Ring '96. Now on WCW Nitro on TNT. At Wheeling Civic Center, Wheeling, Virginia. Scott Steiner defeated Booker T. DDP defeated Jim Powers. Sting defeated Maine. Hacksaw Jim Duggan defeated Squire Dave Tower with Jeeves. Giant with Jimmy Hart. Defeated Giant D defeated Scott Giant defeated Jimmy Hart with Scott Norton training WCW Heavyweight Championship. Laura Steven Regal with G's defeated Billy Kidman. Republic Enemy defeated Johnny Runge and Rocco defeated the Nasty Boys and Brian Knobs and Jerry Sayers by DQ. Lex Luger defeated Four Horsemen Irons and Ric Flair with Miss Luger, a woman who obtained by DQ obtained WCW World Tag Team Championship. And then we see Kevin Nash and Kevin Nash return to WCW with Scott Hall. They said, "So this is where the big boys play, huh? We ain't here to play." Yeah, this is where the NWO, and he's gonna issue a little challenge to everyone. Issue a challenge to everyone who comes out. A challenge to everyone at the Great American Bash. Yeah, and stuff like that. Kevin Nash, Scott Hall came out here. Yeah, after that departure from the WWE. The World Wrestling Federation. It was where NWO was about to be born. And then on WWE Velocity, June 10th, 2006. Tanaka defeated Seth James. Gunnar Scott defeated Colt Cabana. The Pit Bulls, Jamie Noble and Kid Cash defeated John Bolin and Sterling Keenan. Singles match, Matt Hardy defeated Simon Dean. Stinks. This day in 2016, NBA Finals, the Cleveland Cavaliers defeated the Golden State Warriors defeated Cleveland Cavaliers 108-97 in Game 4 of the NBA Finals on ABC. 2016 NBA Finals on ABC, baby. Then a couple movies released in theaters that same day, 2016. The Conjuring 2 sequel to The Conjuring 2 sequel to 2013's The Conjuring, starring Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson, was released in theaters. Now You See Me 2 sequel to 2011's Now You Can See Me, starring Jesse Eisenberg, Mark Ruffalo, Willie Harrison, Michael Caine, Morgan Freeman, Sanaa Lathan, and Leslie Kaplan, was released in theaters. And Warcraft, based on the movie, Warcraft based on a video game, was released in theaters, starring Travis Fimmel, Paul Patton, and Ben Foster, was released in theaters. And that's it. That'll do for my review from Godfather Soldier and Slimming. Hope you have a good night. And I'm as late chair here inside of this dressel chair, check it dance on live. She dance like James Brown, like to get in the hot tub and sweat. Gonna be dry, gonna be wet. Furniture Air for doing impression of James Brown, Saturday Night Live. I never grew up in the 80s, grew up natural. I started reading also saying back in the 90s when I was little on Comedy Central. So I hope you have a good night. I'm out here. Peace.